Hello folks, your host Old Valrox here back with some more fake run order, and I intend to see this through to the very end, so with that being said, let's go right ahead. We're jumping into hidden research. Looks like we'll be facing, if I'm looking at this correctly, wait, really what? Now that's interesting, really interesting. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here by something else, folks. In any case, not to be distracted too entirely, looks like we're facing... Sorry, section 14. I'm trying to make sure I don't get way out of line here. There's a lot of automated defenses, but it looks like for the most part it's just a lot of books, so 2 writers, and then scat. Sorry, I'm talking to myself here. Basically what I'll be needing for this fight, just wave clears pretty much in a sense. So this is how it'll look like. I don't really need that. Scat can take this spot. And then I need my wave clearers, which is these 2. Actually, I'll have to replace the little one. And I think that should be sufficient. Just in case though, I guess we could leave him with that. Hidden research. Oof, time to go back into role with Sherlock Holmes. I'm debating which voice I should give him. He must be Valrox, and she's... Oh yeah, I don't know if I feel that's the right voice for him. Hold on, I'm still struggling. Hold on. You must be Mr. Valrox, and she's Miss Masculine. She is the servant Zhuangzang. He is the servant Tawara Tota. And that is, well, what a surprise. The Knight of the Round Table is also among you. Wonderful to meet you, Sir Bedivere. As we share a homeland, it's hard not to feel a certain familiarity with you already. How did you know everyone's true name? Probably because he's a ruler? Why, elementary, my dear friends. There it is, that famous line of his, "This man is the real Mr. Holmes." You and I have already made contact before we met face to face. We met through information. Through information? In London, you managed to safely acquire the information I left at the Mages Association, right? It was just paperwork, but it must have been worth £1,000 to you at the time. I gathered only the necessary information and arranged it so it'd be easy to read. At that point, you must have accepted me as a collaborator in the shadows. Wasn't Anderson saying something about... Yes, he said someone had organized the information before he looked it up. So that was your doing, Mr. Holmes? Yes, had I made it too easy to understand, Mockery would have noticed. I arranged it so that it would only make sense when a wise person with a true purpose searched for it. You needed to know it in order to solve this murder case, and not just be a bystander. Murder case? Yes, it's a murder case, and one on a scale I've never experienced before. The complete murder of the primates by means of the incineration of humanity. Yes, indeed a mythological murder case. Obviously, I'd appear. Valrox, Lady Mash, I hate to interrupt, but who is he? Holmes, I don't remember a knight by that name. How sad. It's true that I never attained knighthood. The person who recorded my efforts, however, did. So the person who recorded your achievement was a knight? Milady? Yes, Sir Bedivere. Mr. Holmes is the most famous detective in the world. His class is probably Castor, right? He is one of the true forefathers of all detectives. If only the monitor was alive, the doctor would have been overjoyed. And I'm especially moved as well. Sherlock Holmes was real. In other words, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's novels were biographies by Dr. Watson. Watson's side job. If it makes an innocent girl so openly happy, then our work was well worth it. I think I like the one from the TV show that I'll give him this tone of voice. Though I'm not sure how long I can match it. But Miss Kirolite, my true identity, my essence is slightly different from what you may think. And sad, but that is not the purpose of our gathering here today. I cannot yet accept your case, Mr. Valderux. Oh, you can't? Mr. Holmes, you appeared in person without even a disguise, so I assumed... Ha 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 ha! What a good fan. You're very aware of my personality. I would very much like to cooperate too, but there's a case I must solve first. Sir Babbage asked me to do so. He only had a little bit of reason left in him. Just a speck, but it was like a glittering star it is in exchange for that. Until that case is closed, I cannot make ties with Chaldea. But that is not a vital problem. I'll leave the battle to your heroes. I am detective. I have no interest in justice or honor. I just solve mysteries. That is my duty. It's exactly the Holmes I imagined. In other words, he just beat us to the punch. Yes, that's exactly right. Oh, yes, that's exactly it. Although I did activate the pitfall and invite you all. It'll help Valderux but won't join us, is that right? Yes, I came to this institute in search of knowledge. The old man of the mountain must have talked about reading. You need to know everything, right? In that case, you should head for the central area of this institute. I do have business there. It is far from here, about half a mile underground. The path twists and folds over itself, much like a labyrinth. I'll show you the way there. If you eliminate the traps with your strength. It's quite the efficient collaboration. Now let's hurry, infinite knowledge awaits us. We seem to have ended up teaming with Mr. Holmes. Are you sure about this, Valderux? Our objectives are the same. I see. I suppose I've never really been good with people like him. He reminds me of Merlin. Master, magical energy response. Something's coming. It's the same as in London. It's an autonomous magical familiar. Seems the defense mechanisms are still active. I was right to wait for your arrival. My existence is currently in flux. There's no way I can fight. I'm counting on your success. For whatever reason, his voice reminds... Well, I mean, at least to me anyways. Sounds similar to Lord Viola Torus from Disgaea. Well, at least a portion of it, not all of it. Everyone, let's go! Can't really make a Troy Baker voice. If I could, though, all the fun I would have. Since I idolize Viola Torus, but I think I may have mentioned once or twice somewhere in all my videos and long in the past. So, this battle... Just a little charge. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he went up, instead of going by 4 or 6%, he went up 10% more apart from the charge. So that's pretty impressive if I do say so. Do I need scat yet? How about a note like that? be close to dying if I do say so.
我が中心我が我が四天王のどれ五王将来天皇大会
This last enemy will not be any problem at all. If anything, it reminds me of the automated defense from America. Actually, no, I thought it was gonna be that. So who should I swap out? Makes sense to swap out.
魔境深淵の H 魔境深淵の H
つまり練習だな。他にやることないの？
あらあらまそうかせい差しうがち突きうがちゲリボルクオルカラジム
And I believe that's pretty sure that's a gear. Yep, we could have got the pages from the books, but apparently RNG is not that kind to us. This is a 4-parter, so let's see how many parts I can get through. What's the Atlas Institute, you ask? An excellent question, Mr. Valtorox. It is an institute of alchemists built in the Atlas Mountains of Egypt. Oh, sorry, I meant to give him the other voice. It is also known as the Titan's Pit. It's one of 3 branches of the Magus Association, dealing with accumulation and measurement. Their alchemy is not at all like alchemy as you may know, the kind that became mainstream in the Middle Ages. They are the progenitors of magecraft, focused on investigating the principles of the world. While they are certainly mages, I understand that their magical circuits are rather paltry. Consequently, they do not rely on magical energy to learn the mysteries of the world, instead using a great number of tools. In a way, these tools evolved similarly to scientific progress. They treated pseudo-spiritron cells as energies that could be observed and manipulated. This led to homunculi, life forms that possess magical circuits. We have no need to become the strongest, we simply have to create the strongest tool. That was their motto. True to their words, they created many weapons. In the world of magecraft, they are called the 7 taboos. The Atlas Institute created 7 weapons capable of destroying the world. Realizing they had reached their limits, they sealed them away. There are still many theories about why they decided to build such weapons in the first place. The director of the Atlas Institute was given the title Atlasia. I saw a wall plate on the way here. It said Zepia Elnam Atlasia. It was like the last director. There seems to have been a successor designated, but the name wasn't recorded. The directors of the Institute would always go mad. And as a result, they created forbidden weapons that would destroy the world. I'm changed way off topic for his voice. It is also probable that they would try to prevent the destruction of the world, fail in the progress, and then go mad as a result. Regardless, this place is a storehouse of mystic codes unparalleled anywhere else on Earth, although in reality it's more like a disposal site. The alchemists of this institute would constantly invent things. These were treated as failed creations and a mountain of terrible weapons accumulated. We were headed to the center of that. What do you think? Did you understand my summary of the Atlas Institute? Why it's called the Titan's Pit? Do you know the Titan who held up the world in Greek mythology? His name was Atlas. The name may have been influenced by his story. I've also heard that it was called the Atlas Institute because it's in the Atlas Mountains. A simple reason for naming it so. The origin of alchemy at the Atlas Institute is tied with the progenitor of magecraft in Egyptian mythology. the goddess Isis. The connection may have been why the Institute appeared in the territory of Egypt in the singularity. They fled underground to study magecraft. No wonder I had never heard of this group of mages. However, I don't see any students. Did this Atlas Institute fall to ruin prior to this time? No, as far as I've been able to deduce, the Atlas Institute was active from the BC era up to 2018 AD. There aren't any people here, then... No, I shouldn't speak based on assumptions. We'll know for certain when we reach the center. An underground academy filled with mysteries. A research facility created with unknown techniques. Its true identity and ideal shelter, merely an enormous tomb. Let us hold hope in our hearts and press forward to see the truth. Apologies, folks. Well, now we're out of AP, and I guess I could continue, but if I do, it's one of those situations where I will have to down a lot, and I kind of want to cease right now before I have to continue unnecessarily. So unfortunately, folks, this is as far as I'll go for this session of videos. We're getting there close. Like I said, chapter 14 has 4 more parts to it, and then chapter 15 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts to it. Chapter 16 has 1 part to it. It looks at things. And then finally, chapter 17 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It appears Gawain will always stand in our way regardless. And same goes for Tristan, unfortunately. Sorry folks, I'm getting too distracted over here. I think we're missing several areas because as far as I can see in the, you could say, Cynopedia, which there should be more enemies, but we're only awarded. It's really odd. It could have shown, unless of course I'm not overlooking something somewhere. Let's see, interface, needle crease right there. Okay, that makes sense. So I was wondering why Ozzy wasn't around. So apparently the Great God Amun-Ra is a demon pillar, but is weaker than Needle Crease and Ozzy, so we'll be facing them soon enough. We'll get a Grail that quickly, but we still have to defeat the Knights of the Round Table despite having that. Interesting. Sorry folks, reading on ahead here and it's just, annoying, I know. Anyways, don't mean to bore you with my details here. We'll all get there in good time, at least I will soon enough. And everyone else, like I said, take your time. The singularity isn't going anywhere, and neither are my apples. So far I've wasted, from the looks of things, 5 apples. Did I need to? Not really. If anything, like I said, we'll get there all in good time. We'll see till then. This is your host, Old Valrox. I wish you tons of luck if you're still rolling in the gacha. Like I said, I may or may not decide to roll some more. Given that I have course, I'll probably get some more, but we'll see. Anyways though, do take care.